Hi everyone, Ron here from L.T.L Tutoring Central, and this week I'm giving some tips on different things you can do to help with the writing component for English language tests. And it could be the IELTS or TOEFL or some other English language test, or even just an English language program that you're involved in and you want to improve your writing. So anytime you want to improve your writing, these tips can help. So there's one that I think almost everyone knows, is to write a journal. Writing in a journal every day, just make sure that you're constantly accessing the language. So that can be very helpful. The only problem with keeping a journal every day, and I still recommend that you do so because you can see your progress as you move forward. But the only issue with that is if that's the only thing you're doing, you probably don't have anyone or any real way of checking and correcting your own work. Now, it will improve over time if you're doing some other activities. Obviously, if you're taking courses, or if you're doing some of the other tips that I'm going to mention in a moment, or if you have some feedback from someone who's reading your journal entries. But if they're private, you don't want that, of course. Something else you can do is read and make comments on blogs. And the blog doesn't have to be about learning the English language. It could be about any topic that you're really interested in. And try to find some topics that you're interested in, because that will motivate you even more to write comments and to write longer comments, to be more thoughtful, because if it's a topic that you really are interested in, and it can be absolutely anything, then you're going to be more inspired to write a lot more. And that's very helpful because you can write longer sentences, you can use different kinds of phrases and clauses and practice with the English language. And sometimes people hopefully kindly might help you with your grammar or sentence structure in those cases, but nevertheless, at least you're practicing, and as you're reading other comments and the blogs themselves on the same topic, you're going to see people writing sentences about the same ideas that you're thinking about, and hopefully some of them are writing in proper English, and so that will help you along the way. You can also post messages in chat rooms as well, so that's another idea. And of course, join up to social media like Facebook or Twitter. Twitter, I guess it's a little bit helpful. It's very popular in some circles, but because you're so limited to the number of characters, it's a little bit different than maybe writing something longer on a blog or even on Facebook, where you can leave a longer message. So it has its advantages, but it has a few disadvantages as well. Now, all of these are sort of things you can do on your own, basically, although if you're going on social media, like I say, you may get some feedback now and again. You can even ask for feedback, and some other writers or viewers would be willing to help you with some of your English there. But alternatively, you might want to at some point seek out some extra help, and a tutor, c'est moi, that's not English, could help you with that. So I would highly recommend that you take some of my paragraph writing courses when you're ready, when you're at that point that you want some feedback, because sometimes just writing on your own can be very helpful, but at some point you need some feedback, you need some direction to say this is where you're going really well, and you want motivation and encouragement to keep writing, but also here's a few things that you can do that will really help your writing have more of an impact, or here are some minor mistakes that you're making technically that you could fix. For example, you might be writing in sentence fragments instead of complete sentences, or you may have to run-on sentences, for example. You may not know how to use clauses or phrases properly within the English language, and you might need some direction, because often when you write just on your own, when you read it back to yourself, it seems fine to you. It's the same with pronunciation sometimes. When I have students learning English and they're working on their pronunciation, I will say a word, they will say a word, and to their ears, they're saying exactly the same pronunciation as I am, but they really aren't. And if they hear themselves on a recording, they often recognize, that really isn't quite the same. But when they say it, it sounds the same. It's sort of similar to that. When you're reading your own work, the phrases and clauses and sentences may seem fine to you, may sound similar to what you've read elsewhere, but there might be some problems or some issues. And sometimes when I correct or when I suggest changes to sentences and the student reads the new sentence, they're kind of surprised and very happy. They say, wow, that really sounds a lot better. That really sounds good to me compared to what was there before. So sometimes you just need that feedback. I'm going to leave a link to the paragraph writing lessons, and you can take as few as 1 or you can take 5 or more and just continue on. That's entirely up to you. It's Ron from L.T.L. Tutoring Central. Use some of these ideas because leaving messages on blogs or chat rooms or Facebook and Instagram. Oh, you could use Instagram. I didn't mention that one. Twitter. These are all free, so you can do that on your own. When you're ready for some help, give me a call or send off an email to me, and I'll be very, very happy to help you. It's Ron from L.T.L. Tutoring Central, and until next week, have a great week and keep on writing.